I just remembered, Katie made us a special
Fudge.
snack.
Yep.
Fudge. Chocolate fudge.
You keep talking.
Oh, shit. When it comes to this Mexican Mocha cocktail, we started off with 1.5 ounces of the Patron XO Cafe tequila, which you may or may not even be able to find anymore. 2 to 3 dashes of aromatic bitters, and 1 to 2 dashes of Aztec chocolate bitters. You can find those on Amazon. You can find them at your liquor store, maybe even your local grocers. I know Hy-Vee has some a little assortment of different bitters that you can check out. Recently, I went to a liquor store and Moonlight Liquor here in the Kansas City metro area. It's actually, I think, in Gardner, Kansas, and they had a cherry bitters, and that brought my cocktails at home to a completely different level. And then after that, you got a 1/2 ounce of chocolate hazelnut syrup. Stirred all that up. You served it strained into a chilled rocks glass over ice, garnished with the orange wheel and grated chocolate on the rim. And this is a top-notch cocktail. I have zero complaints on this whatsoever. I think you did quite well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this is kind of an unfair cocktail, actually.
Unfair in what way?
I mean, it's a straight dessert.
Yeah, it's a dessert. Yeah, okay. I can see why you say unfair now. Yeah, it's a dessert cocktail. It's I don't think have we had anything that had chocolate in it?
No, this is the first time.
There was the Balcones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Balcones had a
Balcones rye.
Rye.
Texas rye.
For whatever reason, it had a bit of a chocolatey, a cocoa kind of flavor to it. But that was just right out of the bottle. That was straight. It was a neat pour, and it already had this wonderful bouquet of sweet.
That blew our mind.
Yeah, I was not expecting any of that.
Like you said, straight neat out of the bottle.
Yeah. And
we're getting hit upside the head with this really, really rich chocolate flavor.
Mm-hmm. And it was I think it was, if I might not be remembering correctly, but it was a higher proof than your standard, what I would call an air quote dessert whiskey.
I think it was 100 proof.
100 proof, yeah. And I'm used to like dessert whiskeys being like 60.
Right.
Right in there. But this, what's the proof on this? Do you know? I'm reading it off the bottle. 30. So yeah, 60 proof. It's 60 proof on the coffee liqueur here, the Patron XO Cafe.
This recipe only called for 1.5 ounces. Mm-hmm. We made a double, so 3 ounces worth. But I think it could have used an extra ounce.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think you could have rounded that 1.5 ounces up to 2, and then double it for 4 for this.
Yeah, the only thing I think it's missing is that coffee flavor. And the only way I think to get it in there would be like throwing half a shot of espresso or something.
Absolutely.
Or take coffee and freeze it into your ice cubes.
Maybe we'll have to find a reason to come back and revisit it. I recently bought a whole bunch of cold brew.
Okay. The Jameson cold brew?
No, just cold brew coffee.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because there's a couple cocktails coming up that I want us to try. Specifically, the Iron Smoke.
Okay.
Chocolate peanut butter pie cream.
I'm looking forward to that episode.
One of their cocktails calls for some cold brew coffee.
All right.
But I think you're right.
I've been off caffeine like since December of 2022.
Oh man.
So like mid-December, like December 19th, I think. But I don't care. I'm looking forward to trying it. It's not like I'm going to go back on it full time.
I think you're right though. I think this, as is, with a 1/2 ounce of cold brew coffee, would be outstanding. Mm-hmm.
It's already
not over the top coffee, but just a 1/2 ounce, just to give it a little bit, sneak it in there. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And if you froze it into an ice cube, it would sneak it in there even slower.
Yep.
But yeah, this is definitely good. And it's fun. It's fun to look at, fun to drink, because instead of salt around the rim, it's got shaved chocolate. It's what a cool concept. I mean,
I'm gonna make this for Katie. She's gonna love this.
You think so?
I think she's gonna absolutely love this. Yeah. Tonight before you came over, she was asking, she's always asking what we're going to be trying and all that. And
you tell her nothing. Don't worry about it.
She's not a whiskey.
Find out when you listen to the podcast.
That's right.
You just keep that banana bread coming. Keep them sweet treats rolling.
She's not a whiskey fan at all.
Okay.
So not
everybody is.
Yeah, I'm making all these cocktails, and I always offer, but she never wants anything to do with it.
I wonder if she liked that Scotch sour. You remember that first Scotch sour?
She might.
Yeah.
I am close, but I'm trying to convince her to let me make her a amaretto bourbon sour because I think she would absolutely love that one.
Yeah.
And maybe the way I get her into that one is I make just the straight amaretto sour without the bourbon, and then follow it up with that bourbon.
Maybe go half bourbon on
and
it.
go back to the original recipe because we doubled it. So the original recipe was a half ounce, and I bumped it up to a full ounce just to have a little bit stronger bourbon presence in there.
And when you do that, it really helps accentuate the fact that bourbon, that the cocktail has been tailored around. Like it brings it to the forefront. It's like its personal little birthday party. Like, we're here for this great event, but it's for this specific
And if
thing.
you remember, that particular cocktail was with that Sweetens Cove Tennessee bourbon, which was 110 or 120 proof.
It was 100 plus, yeah.
And so it was hot. It had a lot of bite to it. There were a lot of complex flavors going on.
Right.
But then when we made that amaretto bourbon sour, the egg and the amaretto and everything just kind of pushed everything down and then let it all kind of come together.
Yeah. It mellowed the harshness and it married the flavors together. It was really good.
Absolutely. So I went upstairs. So I was talking to her about this, and I told her I was going to break out the XO Cafe, and she's like, and I asked her. I said, "You want me to make one and bring it up to you?" And she goes, "I'll probably already be in bed or still trying to put Henry down by the time you get around to that." And I'm like, "Well, you want me to make you something now?" And so she ended up having me make it's either called a baby stout or a mini stout.
Okay.
But it's basically a shot glass where you do an ounce of the XO Cafe, and then with a spoon you float a half ounce of Bailey's on top of it, so it looks like your Guinness pour with a little bit of a head on top of it. And so her and I had a little shot before dinner.
And what'd she think?
Oh, she loved it. She thought it was good.
Yeah, but she's a fan of tequilas and stuff, though, right?
Rum is kind of her thing. Rum and vodkas are her thing. When we did the tequila tasting on our honeymoon, her and I were kind of on the same page. We're not really tequila fans, but when we got to this one, we loved it so much that, literally the same day that we were back from our cruise, I ran to the liquor store to pick this bottle up because we were both like, we've got to have that. We got to get that at home. And then just shy of 6 years later, we still have, before we started today, we still had 3/4 of the bottle left. So we're not breaking into it all the time, even though it's so good.
The only other shooter, the only shooter I've ever had, it was my buddy Fritz's birthday party at a bar here in the Kansas City area. I forgot what the name of the bar was, but our mutual friend and his coworker Moose, he went and bought everybody at the table these little shooters, the shot glass cocktail, whatever called,
the mini beers.
Yeah, baby beers. Is what it was. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, and if you know Moose, if you met him, like he's like 6'3" and like.
He's a little guy.
But he's just, our little buddy. But, like, I'm thinking, like, what are you doing drinking something called a fucking baby beer? What the fuck? What the fuck? But usually if somebody's bigger than me, I don't argue with them. Like, never start a fight with anybody with a cauliflower ear. Never, first and foremost. And he doesn't have that. But two, like, if they're bigger, you just don't start shit. Won't be shit. But I had to look it up here because I don't even remember what was in the damn thing. And it says liquor, LICOR, liquor 43 is it's like, 3/4 of the glass, 80% of the shot glass, and then they top it off with with
Baileys?
with heavy cream.
Okay.
And so your heavy cream you can whip and turn it into like Cool Whip or what a Cool Whip.
And it's a golden
yeah, it's like
blonde color. I mean,
it looks like
a
beer.
lager.
Yeah, and then you put the heavy cream on top. It looks like like your full sized what is it? The glass, the beer glass,
The mugs or the pint glass.
the pint glass. It looks like a full size pint glass full of beer with a thick head of foam on it, but it's tiny little shot glass. Or
Honey, we shrunk the beer.
Maybe it was like a shot and a half or a 2-shot shooter glass, but. I don't know. I looked at it with confusion and wonder and interest, and we tried it, and I was like, "This is really fucking good." He's like, "I tried to tell you." Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad. So, yeah, I'm not against the idea of shooters or shot glass cocktails or what did you call them?
Yeah, just a shot.
Shot drink
Just
or whatever.
shot.
Definitely good. Definitely good. So, what else is there to say about this tequila?
I mean,
This Patron XO Cafe.
it's fantastic.
I agree.
Now that I have found this cocktail, don't expect to see that bottle sitting on the shelf with something
Not much
for
longer.
much longer.
There's got to be. I would hope that there's another coffee liqueur out there, tequila-based coffee liqueur, somewhere chocolatey.
Yeah.
Because once this is gone, where else are you going to find it?
Yeah.
Sadness.
Yeah.
I hate it when people do this. Like Chevrolet is getting ready to discontinue the Camaro.
Oh, yep.
And I've loved the Camaro like my whole life, but it's going to be a goner. I'm still going to love the damn thing, but it's just sad to see it go. And that tattoo that we talked about, it's gone. Who knows? Maybe one of these offerings from like the Slipknot whiskeys, maybe one day they'll disappear, and the Jim Beams and the Blackened, the Old Smokies with all their 100 different flavors, like they're going to come and go. It's just Blanton's. If you're lucky enough to find the damn bottle, which somehow you were lucky enough to find one. Air quote, find one.
Yep.
One of them became available for you.
Right place, right time.
Yeah, it's who you know. And
one last cheers to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of drink what I got left here.
Definitely orange now.
Yeah, orange and little chocolate. Delicious. I'm going to eat the fuck out of that orange slice here in a minute. But before I do that, I have to remind the dear listener that we are grateful. We are thankful. Absolutely 100% thankful that you've been listening to us and supporting us this entire time. Please continue to like and comment upon and share our posts on our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Just search us out, Savor the Burn, or at Savor the Burn. If you know, you already know, and you're already playing along. Please can you continue to do that. And if you haven't yet, please do. Please do it. It means the world to a little startup podcast like ours.